Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Five Kings Motorsports YouTube channel. I'm Tanner Marr. I'm one of the founding members of Five Kings Motorsports, a little sim racing team. Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Five Kings Motorsports YouTube channel. I'm Tanner Marr. Sorry, we had an echo in my ear. So, one of the founding members of Five Kings Motorsports started out as a group of 5 people, quickly blossomed into something much more, and right now I'm with Dalton Kilroy. He has a nickname, Mr. All I Do Is Win, right now because I've watched him win 4 races in a row on Wednesday nights, and he's taking that Wednesday night look, and he's took it to Sundays, to Tuesdays, and I don't know the last time you lost on track, Dalton, but tonight you're in the booth with me tonight. How you doing, buddy?
I'm doing pretty good. How's everything going on your end, man?
You know, we're going. Got a little bit of sad news before we just went live about 20 minutes ago. So I'm sure my grandparents are actually watching right now. They're my biggest fans ever. Got news: my grandpa's in the hospital right now. Uh, so we're commentating this with a little bit of a full plate right now. So if you hear me drift off or sound like I'm not engaged, it's probably because I'm on my phone. But we're gonna try to be as engaged as we can. As I'm watching practice out here, Dalton, and man, are these cars loose tonight. I mean, I'm seeing
Oh
cars
yeah,
everywhere.
yeah. It's looking like these guys are, as much as these guys are probably really good at handling the cars, especially under throttle. It just looks like there's not really much grip in those rear tires, and just guys are looping it on straightaways, and it's not even it doesn't even look like they're trying to loop it, and it's just going around. So it's going to be a battle of saving those tires and making sure that they can at least get off the corner in a decent pace and keep the car straight.
You're exactly right with that. So we're out in Phoenix in the desert, and if anybody knows anything about the desert, during the day it's obviously really hot, but then at night it tends to get cool, and there's not no humidity out there. So usually, ever how it feels as far as temperature wise, that's pretty much what it feels like in real time. So right now they got about a 79-degree track, so it's not a very hot track temp. So that should theoretically give these cars more grip. But man, from what we've seen, these rear tires, they have zero grip tonight. They're going to be on edge at all night, at all times tonight. We saw Mark Arthur in the 18 machine during practice right before we went live. He barely tapped a guy, Dalton, and sent that guy for a loop. So could be a messy race tonight, or it could be one of our best races tonight. We never know.
Yeah, it tends to be the trend for one of the other leagues we run in on Sunday nights. Going into the race, everybody in practice is getting loose, and it's looking like, oh boy, this is going to be a handful. But then come race time, everybody kind of gets their act together and runs it clean because they know the car is on edge. Uh, Obviously, this is a little bit different group of guys than our Sunday league, but I have faith. I have faith these guys are going to be able to keep those four Goodyear tires underneath them, and at least have some good racing out here at Phoenix.
You're exactly right. I hope so. So right now, folks, I didn't join in as a spectator. I messed up. Shame on me. But I'm trying to fix the background noise on my mic. I see it kind of fluttering. So let's see. I think that should be better. Yes, so it should be better. If y'all could give me feedback on the stream, just by a simple comment or anything, that'd be much appreciated. Just got a text message from Keith Mack saying he's coming. So Keith, if you're coming, you better hurry up, brother. Joshua Sexton, server disconnected due to incoming packet loss. That's a tough break. Hopefully,
Hmm.
hopefully he can get back in here. So league newcomer Dalton, Chris Stitz in the 12 machine. I've actually never raced with this guy. A lot of the guys that join in, I've raced with him before in officials and whatnot, but never raced with Chris Stitz. He's actually brand new to the series. He's Jason Raymond's buddy, and currently sitting on the pole with a 28.349 right in front of Christian Pittman.
Yeah, it does seem like a very good lap, and hopefully some of these guys on these cold tires at the start of the run can maybe give Chris some competition as we see Alex Coffey come right behind him, 3/1000ths of a second away from the pole lap time. And we got a couple other guys out on track right now. Trey Hoosler, we got Mark Arthur out there. He's turned one lap so far. Well, we'll have to see, because we still got 2 minutes left in qualifying, and there's a lot of guys that can still get up there and take that top spot.
Oh, you're absolutely right. And so that Alex Coffey guy, I've actually, me and Joshua both have turned many, many laps with him in official racing, and he's a really fast competitor. But there you go, Mark Arthur just went top of the board with a 28:205. So
Yeah,
bested his practice lap that was already blistering fast, and said, "Hold my beer, let me go a little bit faster."
it definitely does look like most of the drivers out here, except for maybe one or two, definitely gained some time between practice and qualifying. That could be just getting a clean lap and not having any traffic. That could be the track potentially changing, cooling off just a little bit, and just getting that extra little grip throughout the corner.
That
So
is interesting to see, though. I mean, normally, you go from practice to qualifying. During that practice, you get an hour to set your best lap, and you get as many laps you want. But then qualifying, you got 2 laps to make or break your time, basically. And normally, you don't see this many people, get a better time than what they did in practice. And just got word from Joshua Sexton, he is trying to make it back in. Currently having internet issues, so he's my lead admin in Crooked Line Racing. He's actually racing on track with these guys tonight. Going to try to, at least. We got about 30 seconds or so before these guys go to grid. Want to give a shout out to the sponsors. So we got a McConey Setup Shop. That's Jeff McConey. He specializes in tour mod sets. I know that for a fact because I've turned so many laps with him. But his company as a whole, McConeySetupShop.com, they can hook you up with any setup you want for any type of race you want on iRacing. Official racing, they got you covered. You need a special custom made setup made, they got you covered. All you have to do is reach out to Jeff McConey or go to McConeySetupShop.com. And I mean, it's a one stop shop. Use promo code 5Kings, they'll get you a great discounted price. Then we got to thank Bam's Racing Videos. That's Brandon Metler. He's a teammate of ours. He's one of the founding members. And what Brandon does is he goes around to all these local short tracks. Some of them you've heard of. They're the most famous short tracks in the world. Others you may have never heard of that produce some of the best racing ever. And he goes around, he documents all these big local short track races. He's closing in on, I think, 3,500 subscribers. So he's starting to get a following. And that's allowing him to go to places like Charlotte Motor Speedway and cover the big legend nights they have out there, and so on. So that's Bam Racing Videos on YouTube. We got a couple more that we'll go through as the race goes, but right now we're gonna go to the grid. You got Mark Arthur, like we said, in that number 18 machine. So he's the quote unquote owner of Blazing Pedals. That's a series we run on Sunday nights. I'm sure if you're familiar with Five Kings Motorsports, then you are familiar with Blazing Pedals. Then you got Chris Stitz or Stitz, whatever you however you want to pronounce his last name, coming in with P2. Alex Coffey, Kristen Pittman, that's going to be P3 and 4.
Good luck, everybody.
Scotty Stevens rounding out the top 5 with a 28:375 on the board. That's a pretty quick lap. He actually bested his practice lap as well, Dalton. Then you got
yes, he did.
Chad Adams starting P6, Jason Raymond, that's a league veteran, starting P7. Landon Devon, P8. Trey Hoovler, P9. Frank Barbary rolling out P10. John Petrozelli, P11. And Brett Vincent, P12. And now, a little bit smaller field tonight. Had a lot of people join and back out because it is a hosted session. They come in here, they get practice. They don't like the setup because, like we said, it is a loose setup. But we're trying to get Joshua Sexton in here. Keith Mack said he's coming as well. So we're playing the waiting game now. They got a second. These cars are about to start rolling, Dalton. And the mayhem, I think, is about to begin.
Yeah, hopefully it's not actually mayhem, and we are able to get through at least 100 laps and maybe even get some green flag pit stops. Fingers crossed for that. But we will absolutely have to see what all is going to transpire during this restart, because I know some of these guys are going to be itchy to go, and as soon as that pace car pulls off, it's gonna be a free for all.
And something we haven't even hit on tonight. This is new Phoenix, baby. I mean, you got this open dog leg on the backstretch. All that is, it's a shortcut. Think Mario Kart style shortcut. So you got people that's going to dart down there to that dog leg. They're going to try to cut that track not in half, but they're going to cut a huge chunk of that track off, cutting that dog leg. But when they do that, that's dangerous. So that's going to be something to watch all night as you see that pace car make that hard turn on the pit road. Mark Arthur's going to make them wait for the green flag. Don't get a great jump. 12 car is able to stay actually right there with him. You got the 2 and the 14 side by side going into turn 1.
Yeah, that 12 car looks like he took it a little bit easy going into the corner. Did not seem like he wanted to really race the 18 this early, which that is a smart move, especially with guys getting loose. Just seems almost out of nowhere. So far, it looks like everybody's clean. We're getting all nice and single file through the first lap, and it's like guys are going to try to start picking everybody off one by one. As towards the back of the field, we see the 118, Elena Devon. He got a little loose there out of 4, losing a spot.
So I was actually pretty interested right then, Dalton. I didn't see anybody really get in over their head or get loose. As soon as I say that, I see Scotty Stevens breaking loose right at the dog leg.
Looks like he held on to it though.
He was able to hold on to that machine, and Joshua Sexton has been back in here. Dalton, I will share my screen in Discord. I apologize that you can't see what I'm seeing right now, but some people don't care. Some people don't matter. Let me.
Yeah, right now I am just watching Christian Pittman. He's making a move on Alex Coffey. He's actually going to clear him going into turn 3. Use that shortcut as you were talking about.
Yeah, so I've noticed since lap 1, sorry to cut you off, but since the very beginning, Christian Pittman and Scotty Stevens, they were the only 2 drivers that I saw even elect to go down there. And that's going to be faster over the long run, but it's risky. Like I said, you don't know how the car is going to react, especially with how on edge it is when you go over that dip and have to transition back onto the track.
Oh yeah, that change in the banking could very easily upset the car, and you could be along for the ride, or or you could get a huge time boost going down that back straight. And speaking of time boost, Mark Arthur, he's just gapped the field at the moment. Looks like he's on rails. He is using a little bit of that dog leg.
Yeah, the old man is kind of checked out on the field here. So the battle looks like right now between Chris Stitz and Christian Pittman and Alex Coffey. But Mark Arthur says he's not going to get broadcast time. You get out this far this early, Mark. Come on, reel it back in, buddy. Come back to us.
Yeah. As I actually car out of turn 4. It's Landon Devon again. Looks like he may have just gotten loose, potentially.
We'll try to see if we can rewind it back and see what happened here. Now, we did say this car's on edge, and the way he's sitting coming off of turn 4 like that. Oh, yeah.
Ooh, he went Tokyo Drift.
Yes, it took him actually a little bit before that car finally actually went around. So he's sliding. He's holding. And right
just
couldn't hold it no more. It was
a good effort, though, but unfortunately not able to hold on to that race car.
So right here, Dalton, I think he has a lot of will into it. Trying to save the car like anybody would. He just got a lot of will into it. That's a good save right there. He has the car saved a little too much, overcorrects, and at that point, Dalton, you're a racer. You know, but you don't wreck very often, but you have wrecked before. You know, you're just Jesus take the wheel at that point. You're out of control, and you hope for the best.
Yeah, you're trying what you can to hold on to the car, maybe keep it out of the wall, and if you do end up getting into the wall, minimizing the damage as much as you possibly can, so that way it's not going to be burden on you for the rest of the race, especially with it being lap 6 that this caution came out. So he's still got a long way to go.
Checking out his car right here, Dalton, he don't have a whole lot of damage, and you run our Tuesday night series in the Tour Mod. You know that we offer 1 set of tires in this series, and we offer 1 fast repair. So, Joshua Sexton said he had an emergency, he had to go. So, we hope everything's good in that category. But going back to what I was saying, say you do come out here and you junk the car or whatever, as long as you can make it to pit road, you basically have a mulligan in your back pocket with that fast repair. But luckily for Landon here, he kind of kissed the wall a little bit. Didn't get a whole lot of damage. It's a little crinkled up in the front, but should be no harm, no foul. He should be okay.
Oh, yeah. As long as he doesn't have any damage to the radiator. Maybe it might push a little bit through the corner, and that might actually help him. But at the same time, that could hurt him because if it's pushing tight from the middle on exit, then he's gonna probably be cranking the wheel just a little bit more. And then the second the car starts to come around, with it being loose, it might actually make his situation a whole lot worse. So we'll have to kind of pay attention to what Landon going to be dealing with the rest of this race, and we'll also have to see what
Taking
this
the high
restart's going
side
to be
here.
like. So
As
we
Mark,
hear Mark
yeah,
taking the high side.
yeah, I heard that. So that's a little interesting coming at Phoenix. That's not something that you ever really think. So I'm curious how this plays out, Dalton. If you're out there, do you take the high side here?
Well, I guess it would depend on what all I'm gonna be trying to do. I'm knowing Mark. He's probably gonna try to at least stay ahead of that 12 car going into the corner. If he can
Right.
stay side by side with him and kind of pinch that 12 car down, maybe that 12's gonna get loose and not be able to get on the gas as much as he'd like to coming out of turn two. And Mark's just gonna keep that momentum up on the high side and just shoot around him going down the back straight and clear him into turn three. And also, I know sometimes going on the going on the outside, you can really get a good jump once you hit that restart box, because coming out of four, you are on the racing line, so rubber is going right where you are going to be restarting.
Right. Right. And I'm telling you,
So,
Mark, he's a deep thinker. I mean, very, very deep thinker. If you ever talk to him at all, he's playing chess out here when everybody else is playing checkers. So I guarantee
mhm.
one of the points you just made right there is the reason why he's done this. And like we said, the set is loose. You pinch that driver down the inside, they got to lift. They can't stay in it because it's going to be mayhem. So I'd say you probably hit the nail right on the head with that one, dog.
As pace car lights are off, these guys are all double file. We're looking forward to this little restart here. You can see Mark kind of leaving a little bit of a gap to that pace car and trying to at least get some time to where he could potentially go maybe just a little bit early. And Mark Arthur is off. Gets
Got,
amazing jump as
got a
that
great
12 kind of
jump.
spins his tires.
Got a great jump. That actually allowed that tube machine. I'm not even sure who that is. That's Coffee, and the tube machine
Yep.
allowed him to get up there. But that 12 machine had the preferred line in my head, going down low. Chooses to take the dog leg. They're gonna be side by side going in turn 3 and 4.
Yeah, if Alex is, if Mr. Coffee's smart, he's going to try to stay right on the outside, but he runs a little bit wide. It's going to let Stilts get clear of him coming out of the corner, and that's going to open up the door for Pittman to get underneath him going into 1 and 2.
Yeah, so this track's weird. 1 and 2, I want to be down low, but 3 and 4, you get such a momentum on that high side. If Coffee was able to stick right there with him when they entered 3 and 4, I think he would have been okay. But like you said, he went a little wide. Had to wait to pick the throttle up, and you see what happened. Ultimately lost him 2 spots.
And once again, we're kind of seeing the same kind of trend, except for looks like the 44 and the 24 back there side by side. The field kind of getting single file, and Mark just kind of putting as much of a gap as he can on the rest of the field, as he's already opened it up to over half a second lead.
So the 44 and 24, this is the race right here. Scotty Stevens actually goes to the outside of the 44 and 3 and 4, and I think he's going to make this pass coming off turn 4 here. He is able to clear that 44 machine. That was a pretty aggressive move to shoot to the outside of the 44, but I think the 44 got loose on entry there, and that just kind of slowed his momentum down, allowing Scotty to jump to his outside and take the position.
Yeah. And we've actually got a change for second position. Christian Pittman going through 1 and 2. He got around Chris Stitz. Apologies, Chris.
Yeah, it's what I'll apologize again because I know I'm gonna mess it up at least 5 more times this race, and I still probably won't ever pronounce it right. But yeah, so a shakeup at the top portion of the field. So Mark Arthur's got a new car behind him, and Christian Pittman's fast, but Mark Arthur's fast as well. So if these drivers can ever get linked up and get close to each other, I think we'll have a pretty good battle here.
Speaking of battles, Chad Adams in that 21 car. Well, he's got a 51 plastered on the side of it, but he's 21 in the sim. He seems like he's having a rough time on corner exit. He's kind of sticking that right rear out there a little bit more than he needs to, and he's kind of dropping back into the clutches of both that 24 car and Scotty Stevens, who are now side by side. Scotty's looking to take the position.
Yeah, and you talked about it earlier, using that right rear, and when you're leaning on that car like that, when you see that car step out like that, they're loose, guys, and that's putting a lot of heat in that right rear. So the problem gets that much worse when you start heating up that tire. Because look at the 51 machine, or the 21, Chad Adams, with the Rowdy Energy car, white car right there. He is really, really fighting that car in the center of the corner to the exit. So that's, he's asking a little bit out of his tires, and his tires at some point might say no, no more, and then that's when the car breaks loose. And as we saw earlier, once it breaks loose, you're basically just along for the ride.
Mm-hmm.
As we go,
Hopping into his cockpit here, and he is turning to the right a lot through the, or at least he just did through turn 3 and 4. See what he does through 1 and 2 here. Oh yeah, he's really fighting that thing, and he's feathering that throttle. He's still battling it loose, but he is gaining time on the cars ahead of him.
he is. So let's get a different point of view here. I think his driving style, he's kind of aggressive with the wheel. It looks like, with the way he's turning left and right, it's like he's almost sawing at the wheel. So let's go to somebody. We'll go to the leader. We'll go to Mark Arthur and see. Yeah, he's pretty loose too. So let's see how he's attacking these corners, being the leader, as he has lap traffic out his windshield.
Seems very smooth on entry there. Yep.
A lot
very
more
smooth.
A lot more smooth. Not even with just the wheel, but also a lot more smooth with the throttle. And so what Mark's doing, not only is he getting this gap, his tires are fine. He's not asking a whole lot of his tires. You see Frank Barbary elect to stay up high, stay out of Mark's way, and that stuff right there, whenever you're the leader on a short track, you love to see it, because they don't have to. They can fight you for their lap because they don't want the lap down. But Frank Barbary did the right thing. That 29 machine just pulled up and let Mark go by and decided he'd fight him another day.
Yep, and that gap between Mark Arthur and second place Christian Pittman, it's just growing. It's up to 1.7 seconds at this point, and it does not look like anytime soon it's going to be going back down. And again, knowing Mark, he is not pushing it at all, and we even saw it in the cockpit. He is feathering that throttle. He's smooth on the wheel. His tires are not being, overdriven, and he is he's just pulling away.
What we saw right there out of Christian's windshield whenever we went to the cockpit, that smoke on the front stretch, that's what Mark Arthur don't want to see. Granted, the way we got it calculated, we think these guys are going to need fuel, but I'm not 100% sure. But right now, Mark, he don't want to caution. He's got a comfortable lead. He's taking care of his equipment, so he just wants to click off laps right now. And luckily, that smoke, it's lingering, but it's not lingering for a caution, so he's all good in that regard.
Yeah, I did notice that the 27 car of Brett Vinson, he temporarily disconnected, and he's reconnecting to the server. So I do not know what may have happened. He may be the reason that we had that smoke in the front stretch, and he probably wasn't trying to bring out a caution. But I'm not 100% sure. But another thing that I do remember hearing as we talked to a couple of the drivers, fuel, you could go about 75 to maybe 80 laps if you stretched it and tried to save. So right now, these guys, they're on the edge of their window, and they're about to get into the fuel window, to where if a caution does come out, they theoretically should be able to make it on one tank of fuel and not need to pit again.
But yeah, you're exactly right. So it's going to be almost a cat and mouse game with the fuel. So with the first caution that came out, I don't know for sure. 100 laps, I don't think they can make it still, but they might be able to. But regardless, it helped. So if you might be able to save fuel out here if it goes green, So you just have to wait and see.
Yeah.
But this gap between first and second, it's pretty much plateaued right now. It's just going to stick around the 2-second mark, and I think that's Mark almost pacing him right now.
Yeah, that's a definite Mark move right there. He's just managing the gap. He's not trying to, stretch out to maybe like a 4 or 5 second lead, because he knows he would just be burning his tires up. He would be using up fuel, he would be just putting himself in a bad spot if the caution did come out and everybody decided, hey, we're not going to pit.
I haven't even seen Mark break loose at all yet. So that's how you know he is not even pushing it at all, because this setup, the very first thing Mark said was, man, this setup sucks. But for this setup to suck, he sure is willing it, because, but for his defense, the setup it's not very good. It's really, really loose. So, but he's doing a heck of a job just managing it and managing this gap, as the gap actually grew 3/10 that last time by. So he's pacing him, and he's outpacing him right now.
And in typical Mark Arthur fashion, he has been extremely consistent. You know, his last 5 laps, 29-0, 29-0, 28-9, 29-0, 29-1. You know, he's been within a tenth and a half, and that's for more than just these past 5 laps. That's last 10 laps. He's been right within a tenth of every lap, and he's just not looking back. He's focusing on hitting his marks, and that gap, it's up to 2.3 seconds now.
Let's go on further back in the pack. A while ago, when we were talking about Mark, I noticed the 2 machine of Alex Coffey actually stepped out and got completely sideways coming off turn 2 right there, right before the dog leg. If it wasn't for the dog leg being there, I think he would have been a goner. And we see the same thing actually happen to Scotty Stevens. And he's going to get it woed up and controlled, but I'm not sure if he got the inside wall right there or not. No, I think he did. I think he's good. 24 car in that light green car up above him went super high in turn 3 and 4 there, but I think he's going to be able to make that pass, and Scotty Stevens is going to ultimately lose spot.
Yes, sir. And that 44 of Jason Raymond, he is closing on Scotty Stevens and doesn't look quite as loose. He is taking a little bit more shallow of an exit to the corners, so that may end up be hurting him in the long run with his right front. But he's hanging right there with these guys.
So Jason Raymond, since he's joined the Monday Night Series, he's been a front runner each and every week. He's always within the top 5. So he's currently running P8, I do believe, right now. So, and we saw him step out a little sideways earlier. So right now in his mind, he's opposite of Mark Arthur. He wants a caution. He wants to regroup, get the pack bunch back up, and re-rack him and try again, because I think he's faster than P8 right now. He's just almost in a box stuck behind the 24 and the 2. But although Dalton, he's really not gaining on them a whole lot. He did get up there to him, but he's kind of falling back again now.
He could just be playing the waiting game here and saving his stuff. Let these
That's
guys
true.
battle, and he's gonna pick the bones as soon as they decide who's gonna stay in front.
With as many times as we've seen people get loose tonight, Dalton, I think a mid-race, late-race caution has to come. I think you're almost playing Russian roulette right now. Granted, there's only like 9 drivers left out on track now, but like, see, Scotty Stevens right there getting loose again. At some point tonight, there's going to be a driver that steps over that line too much when them tires start to wear. And if you can tiptoe that line all you want, but when you step over that edge and you finally lose control, there's no coming back from it. And I just feel like that's going to happen here tonight.
Yeah, that very well could happen, and then we could get surprised, and these guys could just stay on the good side of that
You're
line
right.
and end up just proving us all wrong. As I believe I saw the 24, he stepped out a little bit coming out of 4 and still kept it relatively straight.
Ooh, he actually inches up toward the wall right then, but didn't get it. Did a good job. I'm trying to check brake rotors, so I noticed Mark Arthur's were glowing pretty good. Coffey's was kind of glowing right then. I wanted to find Pittman, because we know Pittman's really, really aggressive in the car. So let's see. He's glowing pretty good. So they're all using quite a bit of brake to get them rotors heated up like that. But it has been a pretty extended, long green flag run. But I was interested when I saw Mark's glowing, because I figured he was lifting really early and barely using any brake. But Dalton, I noticed right then his brakes actually wasn't glowing. So let's see if we can catch it right here going in turn 1 or 2. It's really subtle. If you look inside the wheel well in turn 1 here, there's a little bit of glow. So he's using a little bit of brake, but not a whole lot.
Yeah, I'm trying to get a view of it just quite myself. definitely Mark is one of the guys that, again, when he has a gap like he has, which, God, it's been what, 10 laps since we checked in on the gap between him and Christian Pittman. It's up to 3.7 seconds.
Oh, it's almost 4 seconds now, so it's doubling every 10 laps or so.
Yeah, he is just on cruise control right now. He's probably already been backing his corners up. He's been lightly dragging the brake on entries, so he's not, again, overusing any of his equipment. And I still don't see him getting loose. You see Christian Pittman.
Pittman just said heads up.
Ooh, he is all out of shape on the backstretch. Looks like he may have gotten loose at it too. Yeah. He just got loose out of 2. Looks like he had the wheel maybe cranked a little bit, got to the gas too much, and it just sent him for a ride. Again, just like earlier with Scotty Stevens, with that dogleg being there,
it saves him.
It helps save him.
Yep. Tough break for Chris Nook. I know he wanted a caution right there, but kudos to iRacing for not throwing it, because even though it was in the racing line, he didn't get totally bent out of shape. He actually got the car slowed up enough, got control of it, no caution came out. Although, me being a broadcaster in the booth, Dalton, I love Mark Arthur. He's one of my favorite people in the world. As much as I'd love to see him win this race, I wish a caution would come out and kind of bunch him back up. Because even though we may not have anything from Mark Arthur here tonight, that second place battle, third place battle could still heat up. And it still could. I mean, we don't know. They're not that stretched out right now. But the one person that is for sure, without a doubt, for certain, checked out right now is Mark Arthur. As he currently now has a closing in on a 5-second lead over second place.
And then it's about another 4 seconds back to the 7 of Alex Coffey. Him and Chad Adams are actually pretty close to each other, so got a battle for third closing in.
I'm gonna do something here. Mark maybe get mad at me. I'm gonna try to bring him up here real quick, see if he talked to us or not. Mark Arthur, this is Dalton Tanner in the booth. You got a copy? You want to talk to us?
Yeah, I got you.
Well, I figured since you're only 39 seconds ahead of second place, you might be able to come here and chat with us just for a second.
39? What the?
So
he must have pit.
No, you're closing in on 5 seconds. You got about a 5-second lead. So I've noticed with you. So we went in cockpits of second, third, fourth place behind you, and then we went in your cockpit. You're babying this car, but you're still growing the lead. What are you doing here? What's the game plan here? What's happening?
Throttle control, man. Just driving it and doing what the car let me do, and we got a caution.
Tough break. That's so. I just said a while ago. You can watch it back. I said Mark Arthur's my favorite person probably in the world. As much as I'd love to see him win this race, I hope a caution does come out just to re-rack him. But I was like, the battle for first won't even be there. It'll be the battle for second and third, fourth. But so Mark, you had a 5-second lead there. Caution just came out. What are you thinking here now? Do you pit for fuel? Take your tires? Make it interesting?
I don't know. I probably will. I mean, that was a long time without a caution, so it's only a few cars left, so chances of another caution's kind of slim. So probably go on and get it, and if I get beat with it, I get beat with it.
All right. Before I let you go, Mark, what's the fuel like with the cautions that we did have? Are you okay with fuel now, or do you still need to add some probably?
If I pit here and get fuel, it's going to be fine because we can do about 77 laps, something like that.
All righty, with 10-4, that's Mark Arthur. Dalton, you got anything for him before I send him back down to race team 1?
No, I'm all good. Just keep doing what you're doing, keep that wheel straight, and you'll be hard to beat, just as you normally are.
I might EOL you though. I do have admin controls, so. That's Mark Arthur, y'all. He's owner of Blazing Pedals, and why the series is called Blazing Anything because he's been blazing fast here. We got Keith Mack, Dalton. He's going to join us up in the booth. He messaged me about 35 minutes ago asking to bring him up here, and I didn't see it. As we see the 2-car of Alex Coffey get all out of sorts on pit road. What are you doing here, Hoss? Let's see what happened here with that 2-car. Who is the 2-car? Can I get some help here?
That is Alex Coffey.
No, it's Chris Stilts in that. Wait, hold on. Oh, it's Alex. It's Coffey. You're right. Let's see what happened here.
Yeah.
Did he overshoot his pit?
Looks like he missed his pit.
Yep. Went by his pit and said, skirt, go back.
Oh, wait. Oh, there you are.
Where was he going? He was going off pit road. He thought pit road was another mile and a half long? Alex. That's like Clint Boyer's segment, Put It Out. I'm just playing with you, Alex, giving you a hard time, brother. But
Well, looking back at what brought out the yellow, it was the 24 car just got into the wall hard at a turn 4, and it looks like he got just he was right up there in front of Scotty Stevens, pounded the wall, and Scotty had nowhere to go, and those two guys, along with Jason Raymond, were just along for the ride. Not really much they could have done there.
if you can give me a lap, we might be able to pull it back up, Dalton. You said it was a 24 car.
Yeah, let me see what lap that was. That looks like
41?
that was end of lap 41.
So let's
Yeah,
see.
Christian Pittman was under him coming around, and just get up in the loose stuff up there.
Got up in the loose stuff. That's the marbles. All the dirt, all the grit, all the trash basically off these cars gets up there in them marbles, and basically you're on skates at that point. You're just on ice, and like we said earlier with this 24 car, at some point it's just like Jesus take the wheel, and from the way Keith was talking, oh yeah, just pounds that wall, and oh, Scotty Stevens tried to get it woed up, but just wasn't able to get that car slowed up in time. As I'm going to go back
Mark
to
Arthur.
live. So
He's taking the outside here.
So that's twice now we've seen that. We've seen him do it a while ago, and it paid off. Same scenario right here too. 12 cars underneath him. Chris Pittman was starting third. So see how this pays off for him here. I have a feeling it's going to be okay.
Yeah, let's see if he goes quite as early as he did on the first restart, where he did take the outside. I have a feeling he's going to play a little bit of a game, and he's either going to go earlier or he's going to wait just a little bit longer and try and catch that 12 of Chris Stitz off guard.
All right, let's play a game. Normally I don't do this. I know we're about to go green, but it's all right. Let's play a game here. So I think if I said let's pick a winner, I think we're all pretty much glued in on Mark Arthur. Let's play a game where we pick the top 3 finishers, all right? It don't even have to be in a certain order unless you want to do that. So my top 3 finishers tonight are the 18, the 12 car, and Christian Pittman. What you got, Dalton? Hit me with something.
Well, I agree with the 18 and Christian Pittman, but I think Chad Adams is going to get up there, and the 3 of them are going to be on the podium.
So Chad Adams in the 51 Rowdy Energy white car. So
Yes.
Go ahead, I got a black flag.
Oh, Jason Raymond, tough break for the black flag. Wait 1 second. What was the black flag for, Jason?
It said passing on the inside, but that was after green flag. So I think I'm not sure. If I have to serve it, that's fine. Thank you, I appreciate it.
So normally we don't do it, you know, Jason, but it's a fun run. Not very many cars out here. No sense putting your lap down. All right.
That's for thank you.
So Keith, hit me
Yes.
with your top 3. Oh,
Yes.
the
Top
51.
one.
Dalton.
My pick.
Dalton's pick just went around. That's the commentary curse. That's why we never do it, because of that situation right there. But Keith Mack, hit me with it. What you got?
All right, so I agree. I think Mark Arthur's going to win this race, and then Christian Pittman's going to make it fun at the end. But I do think his teammate Scotty Stevens is going to be right on his back bumper like he is right now.
Okay, so you got Mark, Pittman, and Scotty as we try to go back and find this wreck. So that was Chad Adams in the white Rowdy. Why can't I find his name? Am I blind?
Should be number 21
Oh,
if
there we
that
go.
helps.
Yep. So I was looking for 51, and I should have knew.
Custom numbers.
So he was running third, looking nice. I mean, looking really strong here tonight. He qualified 6th, raced his way up to 3rd. Going into turn 3 and 4 here. Is this it? Yep, this is going to be it right here. Maybe. Oh, yeah, it's it. Car just starts to step out on him, Dalton, like we've seen earlier with the 24 machine. It just steps out and got real lucky right there. He mitigated getting any damage, so I think your pick is still safe.
Yeah, I can hope he is, and he's got plenty of time to get back up there. He only dropped what spot did he drop to? He only dropped to P7.
Well, there's only
So
9 people out here, 8 people out here. Yeah, P7, not bad, not bad.
Yeah, he's still gonna be right up there on the restart. So I think he'll be coming with a vengeance here.
So we got almost as many people in the booth as they do out there racing. What are we doing here, folks? What are we doing?
Listen, I was out throwing axes tonight, so I was kind of late getting in, so I apologize.
Oh, you were throwing axes too? Ooh, that's
I
fun.
was.
Don't
So
wear axes.
I'm watching this 21 action here. You know, he may have fallen victim to his own success being up there. You know, when you get a guy like Mark Arthur run away with it like he has been, when you start to see him in your front mirror, you know, you really want to get after
You
it.
push harder.
The car.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You push harder. Amen. That's a good point. So that's actually been the first time he's actually been right there with Mark, because by the time he got up there, Mark was already checked out, you know? So you see that leader out your windshield, and it makes you go a little bit harder. And that could have been what happened right then, right? You're exactly right.
And again, another thing from knowing Mark, that is a game that as a run goes on, if somebody catches him, he will play that. Because I know he does it with me all the freaking time, and it's annoying as all hell. But he will purposely keep you within a certain gap so that way you overdrive the car to try to stay with him, and then he's just gonna gap you the second you start to fall off.
And knowing Mark, he's in VR right now, folks, but knowing Mark, he's smiling the whole time. That's just how he is. He's a fun-loving dude, but he's quick as can be in a race car. So it's cool talking to him. As we see, are the lights going off on the pace car? Are they off? Yeah, they're off. I wanted
Like
to.
they are.
I wanted to
They're
holler.
off, and he took the outside again.
I'm gonna try to holler at Christian real quick. We're gonna bring him up. Christian's not even in Discord, so I'm not sure why that is. Let's find out real quick. I'll let y'all call a restart. I'm gonna send Pittman a text message real quick.
All right, let's see what kind of start Mark Arthur's gonna get here. Because past couple times he has gone relatively early here. Let's see what all he can do, and when that pace car goes off, if he goes early, if he waits longer. It's going right up to that wall.
Oh yeah,
It looks
going
like
through
he
the
may be
marbles.
trying to go. He might be
Leaves a
trying to
big
go
gap
as
there.
soon as he goes off.
Big gap between him and Pittman.
All right, Tanner. Next caution.
As you hear Pittman say, next caution for the
And-
interview.
Mark Arthur is gone. He did not get as good of a start as he usually has been getting. He was right up there by the wall, but he is clear of that 12 car. And
That
single
12
file
car is
is
right there. Got to his bumper. Sorry to interrupt you. I thought he was actually going to give him a tap right then.
Oh, he's
It
underneath him.
was getting close as
And we're going to have. Oh, I thought we were going to have 3 wide.
Christian Pittman looking to the outside. He may get that run and clear Chris Stitz out of the corners. It's like Mark pushes a little tight. Stitz gets a little loose. Pittman to second at the line at the moment. And he sends it wide,
Ooh, it
pushes
gets a
out the
little
track.
hot.
That's gonna let Stitz clear him.
So, Dalton,
As we see Scotty.
you run that.
Go ahead.
Sorry, you run the. Are you running the system where you can see who pitted for tires or whatnot?
I am not at the moment.
Okay, sorry for interrupting you, because I was just almost curious that the 12 and 14 were there so much, like they were just there, you know. Thought maybe they took tires, maybe Mark didn't. I wasn't really paying attention to pit lane. Keith, did you happen to notice who was taking tires or who wasn't?
I was not. I was actually trying to find the guy that overshot his pit stop with you guys.
Right, and I mean we talked to Mark. I think Mark was going in and take tires, so maybe he just might be playing with them, honestly.
Let me see if I can't get that stuff pulled up.
Pittman's stuck on the
really
outside.
quickly.
He's actually sliding backwards on the outside here.
Yeah, so we saw Pittman. He actually drove it in really deep. I'm not sure. I think it was corner 1 and 2. Drove it in a little deep. That's going to force him to the outside. And now he's got the 24 looking to his inside, and then has also a charging Scotty Stevens and a 44 of Jason Raymond right there playing peekaboo with him almost, wanting to get to his inside.
So, looking at everybody's last pit stop, majority of the drivers were all 20 plus seconds. The only person that wasn't, or the only guys that weren't 20 plus seconds, was Christian Pittman
He saved
and
us.
Jason Raymond. And I believe Raymond may have been taking fuel under this last caution before the restart, or maybe getting a little bit of damage fixed. Maybe Pittman only took right or left side tires.
Ooh, contact between him and the 24. Yeah, I'm curious. I want to ask Pittman about that because I feel like he may have not took tires and tried to save him till the end. But the field is so small. What are the chances for another caution, you know?
Well, if he keeps dropping back the way he is, and honestly, he's down to 5th. He's looking to the inside of the 24 here. He had to lift because it looked like he was about to get into his left rear. These guys, it's go time. There's 40 laps to go. It's winding down, and they're gonna need to start getting it on if they want to try to put something against Mark Arthur. Which
Yes. So people, go ahead. Sorry.
no, I was fine talking. You're good. Go.
So people think these 100-lap races, they think they're really long races, but they're really not. I mean, you get out there in the car, you're turning 30-second laps. That's a little bit long for a short track. Most of these short tracks we go to, Dalton and Keith, what do you think? They're about 20 to 23, 24 seconds long. So you get out there and do a good green flag run, you start clicking off laps, and before you know it, you're in this situation. You got 40 laps to go, 30 laps to go, 10 laps to go, and before you know it, it's white flag. So that's why drivers like Christian Pittman, they feel like they always have to be on go, and that's not a knock to Pittman. That's a good thing. I mean, that makes it really interesting for us up in the booth because he's going 110% every single lap. And that's because these races, when you get in the cockpit, you start turning laps, they're not nearly as long as what you think they are. So you got to go. As you see Scotty Stevens actually go around. And now Christian Pittman saved his tires. I don't think that was a long enough run to have a huge benefit, but that will be somewhat of a benefit if he did save his tires. We'll try to catch Scotty Stevens' wreck real quick, and then maybe get Christian Pittman in the booth real quick.
I'm just gonna tell Scotty he's ruining my top 3 pick here. This is unacceptable.
We're gonna pull Christian Pittman up here in the booth. Mr. Pittman, this is Dalton, Keith, Tanner Marr in the booth. You got a copy?
Yeah, I got you guys.
So I tried to pull you up last caution, and you said your grandpa called. So hi to Grandpa Pittman. I know you're at home watching your grandma and your grandpa, so hi to them first and foremost. Second thing I gotta ask: did you take tires last caution?
I did not. I know you guys saw me almost spin out. That was a rookie mistake there. But no, I haven't taken tires yet, and I'm not going to take them here because I think we're going to get at least one more caution. I'm trying to see if I can do a tighter strategy. I don't normally do it, but tonight I can't. I don't think I'm as fast as Mark straight up, so I think I'm going to have to save and try to take tires and maybe 20 to go if we get a caution.
Well, Christian, I tell you, man, you're playing a risky game here because there's not a whole lot of laps left, but if it pays off, you look like a hero. So I'm going to tell you good luck. We also brought Scotty Stevens up in the booth. Scotty, you got a copy?
Gotcha.
So Keith Mack wants to talk to you personally, one-on-one real quick.
I picked you to be my top 3, and this is how you repay me, you spin. What was that?
Old tires and a full tank of gas makes it a little looser.
A little looser, man, and it was pretty loose already, wasn't it?
A little bit.
Oh, yeah.
Looks like Chad Adams ready to just taking gas here. I only get time to put new tires on with you because he's coming with you.
Well, hopefully my car's not crushed there.
Let's see. I'll give you a look. I'll give you a look and see.
I used my fast repair. Used my fast repair on that last incident where the 24 spun in front of me.
Got it.
Oh, Scotty, you're not very bad, brother. I mean, yeah, you got a little bit of damage, but car's still looking beautiful, courtesy of MF Racing Designs, Michael Falk over on Facebook. Still looking nice. All right, boys, we'll get you back over to your race team and tell y'all good luck. And Scotty, you got picked to be in the top 3. You need to get up there. And Pittman, you were in every one of our top 3, so I need you to get up there as well.
I got you, man.
All right, good luck, fellas.
Right.
So I think this restart is super important. I think if Chris Stitz, if you notice that last run, stayed with Mark Arthur the entire time, if he can get a good restart here, I think he may be able to get him.
So something
Mark's taking the outside.
Something we haven't talked about is clean air. And clean air does play a factor in these cars, especially on these bigger tracks. So you could have a point with that. If he's able to get side by side with Mark and actually race him into 1 and 2, take the dog leg, I mean, you never know what could happen. Yes, Mark Arthur's looked fast all night, but Chris has looked fast too. Mark has just looked ridiculously fast. So you're right. This is going to be a big restart right here for a lot of drivers.
If I'm Chris Stitz, I might even try and jump the restart and assume when Mark's going to go because Mark's been going early. He's pretty consistent with that. So if you go with that again, you may be able to jump the start and really, beat him into 1.
You're right. I mean, you're exactly right.
I will say in the restart, watch. Sorry.
Go ahead.
Watch the 24. The 24 was getting loose before it went to caution. The 24 is definitely getting loose. He's burned up some tires as well.
Looks like we got one to green here with the pace car lights off, and Mark Arthur taking the inside this time. He's switching it up. He's going to try and go early now that he's not going to be on the outside. Knowing Mark, he probably will. But we will have to see exactly what kind of games he's going to play to get clear of Stitz.
It's going to be interesting as, like you said, lights are off on the pace car. It's going to make that hard left turn onto pit road here, and Mark Arthur is do or die right here for him. He needs to get this good jump. It's not really, but we can make it interesting, you know. So, we'll see if that 12 machine can actually stay side by side with him. Let's see if he does it how he's been doing. He's been going fairly early.
Ooh,
the two cars.
Oh, Mark went really early.
Oh, there's going to be mayhem behind
Chad
them.
Adams.
So the 2 car got into the back of Mark. I'm not sure caution's going to fly, and that's race control. I'd like to throw one, but I can't. But the 2 car actually got into the back of Mark, and then it was an accordion effect right then, guys. And
here comes Christian Pittman. So all the way to the inside. He's actually going to be side by side with Mark Arthur. He might clear him. He's clear. Christian Pittman in the lead.
He drove it in there deep, didn't he? So Christian Pittman with a power move on old tires. And he got contact behind him. I think that was Scotty Stevens once again going around. I'm trying to get to him, folks. Scotty Stevens, where you at? Scotty Stevens able to keep it straight. But we got to go back up front, guys. We got Christian Pittman taking the lead from Mark Arthur. This has been something that hasn't happened all race. Mark hasn't had nobody out in front of him except for lap traffic all night. So this is the cat and mouse has changed here.
I wonder if Christian can use those fresh tires, you know, that he's been saving on. Now he can get a good run, get that clean air, put some space.
Well, I believe Christian said he wasn't taking tires, so he's still on his tire.
Right, he hasn't taken a set yet, whereas Mark Arthur has. So this is actually really, really impressive here. And Christian's not one to come out here and run 68 laps saving tires. So I'm not sure where this newfound speeds came from, but kudos to Christian Pittman in that 14 machine. He has really, really shook this whole race up. But on the flip side, guys, this could be Mark.
Ooh,
Mark getting loose, actually. I was going to say, this could be Mark playing them head games. Granted, he don't want to lose the lead, but I don't think he's really pushing, but he is kind of getting sideways now, guys.
Yeah, I think Mark is starting to see that gap open up between himself and Christian Pittman. And he's like, oh boy, I need to go. And he's trying to test the limits of the car again. You see, it looks like the 12 might be stepping out just a tiny bit, and Jason Raymond stepping out too.
I'm just curious to see what Mark Arthur's onboard looks like as we go inside his cockpit right now. He's not really, he's having to catch the car a little bit. I think he's going in a little bit deeper than what we were seeing earlier because, like you said, Christian Pittman, that car is getting smaller out his windshield. And what that means, Christian Pittman's opening it up a little bit as Mark drives it in deep into turn 3 and 4 there.
Yeah, Christian's almost a second between them.
And just that last lap alone, Christian Pittman, he was 0.4 of a second faster than Mark. Let's see what it is this time. It's actually Mark has reversed it. He's about 0.5 tenth faster than Christian this previous lap. So he's definitely kicked it into gear. And we'll have to see if Christian just had that speed because he was on cooler tires, or if he was actually saving stuff this entire time.
You're exactly right. So if you have these old tires on iRacing, when the restart comes, everybody's on fresh tires, you're on the old tires. Normally, you can compete for about 2 to 5 laps in between there, and then the old tires really start to take effect, and you start to fill them again. But right now, boy, oh boy, it's looking pretty good. I mean, I would have never guessed that Christian Pittman on old tires would be able to go up there, not only get to Mark Arthur, but get to him and then take the lead on a restart. That was pretty impressive by Pittman in the 14 machine.
Yeah, and those lap times again, just that last lap, Pittman went back to being 1/10 faster than Mark, and it held true again this lap. He's another 1/10 faster than Mark Arthur, as Chris Stitz is staying right with Mark. Looks like that's your main battle on the track. So we actually see Alex Coffey look to the inside of Jason Raymond going through the dog leg. We got that battle for 4th heating up. Just right on the rear bumper of the 44 car.
So he's pretty much knocking on the door right now saying, honey, I'm home, let me in. And he's going to try to look underneath the 44 right here. It'll be a tough pass to make going into turn 1 right here. that guy on the bottom, it is a preferred line, but you see right there, it gets loose, washes up the track, has to get out of it so they don't get into the 44.
Yep, and that gap opened up just a little bit. I think Jason Raymond's right where he wanted to be in that position to just be able to hold Alex Coffey back. And again, we're seeing Chris Stitz. He's actually closed the gap just a little bit to Mark. He was a 10 faster that last lap. He was about equal that lap, and all the while Christian Pittman, that Dodge is just getting smaller and smaller and smaller in that windshield for Mark Arthur.
And you watch both Chris and Mark are really driving these cars hard.
Yeah, so I thought Mark was still just kind of chilling, but no, he is really, really getting loose now. So that's telling me it's go time, like you said a while ago, Dalton. He's pushing now, I think, and still, I mean, that time by 28.965 for Mark, and Christian Pittman was a
28.895.
So still a little bit faster. This is heating up here, boys. And we say it all the time. If Mark has 2 battles to do here, getting to Christian is a whole nother story when it comes to getting to him versus passing him. So, I mean, Christian Pittman's sitting in the money spot right now, leading with right at
24 to go.
Yep, coming up on 20 laps to go.
And now Chris Stitz, he's actually backing up away from Mark Arthur. I think Mark's consistency is starting to come out here, and his lap times are kind of evening out. We'll have to see if Pittman's lap times start to slow up. As
he was 2
that
tenths
lap,
off
he was
Pittman,
he
right
was
then.
2 tenths faster. I don't know, guys. I unless there's a caution, I don't think Mark Arthur's going to get him.
So let me ask you this: you're Pittman. You have that one set of tires still in the pits, or so he said he did. I'm not sure at this point, man. I'll be honest, but he said he had that set still in the pits. If a late race caution does come out between now and this finish, what do you do? So you came out here on old tires. You jumped out to a 2-second
2.5 second lead
over
Just
Mark
about.
Arthur. Do you even risk it and go take your tires, or do you stick back out on track? Like, it's actually a weird predicament to be in here.
I would say it would depend when the caution comes out, if it does come out.
Right.
If the caution comes out with the caution comes out here in the next 5 to 8 laps or so, I would say he would have enough time to get back up through the field. But also, just looking at their current lap times compared to their best laps are only about 5 to 6 tenths of a second faster.
See, I say don't even risk it. Don't risk it. If it was me, but it's a lot different being up in the commentary booth or behind the wheel of that race car.
Honestly, I think track position is so important late in a race. You saw what cooling off those tires did for Christian to put him in the lead. Now he's running away with it. He's got the fresh air. I think he gets some fresh air, cool those tires off. I think it would all but cinch a win for him. I don't think Christian can beat right now.
The last 2 laps, Mark Arthur has been a tenth faster both times by. So let's check this lap right here. Mark Arthur with a 29.203, Christian Pittman a 29.154. So never mind.
They're trading being faster, but most of the time it's been Christian that's actually been faster than Mark Arthur, as we actually see Alex Coffey get underneath Jason Raymond, and he's almost going to clear him. He does clear him into turn 3, so move that Alex Coffey machine up into 4th, and Jason Raymond back into P5.
I can't even remember who my top 3 were. Was it the 12,
I
18,
you said
and 14?
it was yeah, I believe that's who you said.
But if I was being honest at the time, and now Christian's my buddy, and he's one of my best friends on iRacing, if I had to say the running order, I was gonna say Mark first, Chris second, Pittman third. But man, oh man, Pittman has came out here on this green flag run and just flipped this race over onto its lid, man. I mean, just completely shook this whole race up.
Oh yeah, and I'm honestly just looking at what I'm seeing, because I still have my camera on Alex Coffey and Jason Raymond. Jason Raymond seems like he's getting really loose coming out of the corner. So very well, we could have a caution here soon, depending on what Jason does if he tries to, catch back up to that Alex Coffey car. And they're actually both catching
Ooh, it
Chris
gets really
Stitz,
loose.
who he is falling back off the rear bumper of Mark Arthur, and he's fallen into the clutches of Alex Coffey.
Which is it because Mark Arthur is almost 3 seconds back. He's actually he lost another tenth the last 2 laps in a row.
So I would like to take a play out of the SRX playbook and throw a fun flag here, but I don't think the drivers would like me. Mark Arthur would probably like me, but I don't think Chris Pittman would talk to me for a few days.
Paper bag in the backstretch.
Hey, are you seeing debris out there somewhere, Keith? Because I think that's what it's going to take for this race to get a little bit more dicey. But there is lap traffic coming up out of Christian Pittman's windshield up ahead. Will they play a factor or not? We don't know. Oh, Christian Pittman actually gets loose. Gets really loose as soon as we step inside of his cockpit.
Still holds on to it, though, and didn't really lose much time.
Right.
At all.
Still put up a 29.159 on the board. Let's just ride in this
faster
cockpit.
than Mark.
Look how much more faster he is in this lap traffic. And Frank Barber's a good driver. I mean, he's a veteran race car driver. He's an old man, just like Mark Arthur is out here. And these old men, they're veterans in the race world, sim racing world. And Chris Pittman is just hauling the mail right now.
We get cranky when you call us old men too.
Well, you are always cranky because you are old men.
And just that last lap, Christian Pittman again 0.2 plus faster than Mark Arthur. And really the rest of the field minus Alex Coffey. Alex looks like he was saving a little bit of something behind Jason Raymond because he's running lap times that rival Pittman at the moment. Within, it's like, what, about 0.04 of a second?
Yeah, so I actually brought Joshua Sexton up here. I don't know if he wanted me to or not. But Josh, we watched Mark Arthur dominate this race for the first, what do you think, Dalton? First 60 laps? I mean, jumping out to a 5-second lead. And now Christian Pittman, on old tires.
Heads up, all 4, heads up.
Has, oh my goodness.
There goes Chad Adams. He turned it around out of 4.
Josh, you
We
got
just
a
got
copy?
to change everything.
Josh may not be at his computer. Let's wait.
What?
Oh, there he is. Did you hear what I said, Josh, about Mark having a 5-second lead earlier?
Yeah, I guess. I don't know. I just got in here.
So, Mark led the first 55, 60 laps with like a 5-second lead. They had a mid-race caution. Went and took tires, Mark did. Pittman told us he did not take his tires, and according to the timer, it didn't look like he took his tires. And somehow, some way, he was able to open it up to almost over a 3-second gap over Mark right then. Almost 4-second gap. So I'm not sure, like, this whole race got flipped over on its head.
Well, I heard him talking about it a little bit. I didn't get a chance to ask him, but I could be a fuel load for maybe either of them. Maybe somebody took full fuel, somebody only took enough fuel. I don't know. I was thinking about asking them. A lot of the times you could do full fuel and these things, and it makes them nice and loose, so then your times are going to be faster. If you try to cut it close on fuel, you get tighter and tighter, and sometimes you can even run slower lap time. So I don't really know. It could be just a weird glitch. iRacing has been really weird, let's just say that. So who knows?
I didn't even know you was out on track. So there you see, Joshua Sexton, got actually lagged out, internet issues, made it back in, so many laps down, but a true trooper in that MF Racing Designs butt kicking number 51S came back out here to turn some laps with us. So thank you for that, Josh. I'll take you back down and put you in your race team. I thought you were just watching the race. I didn't know you was actually out there.
Yeah, I figured I'd get a few laps in.
Why not? All right, buddy. We'll be talking to you shortly, buddy.
All right, later, guys.
Thank you. Are lights still on the pace car?
Yes, they are.
Let's bring Mark up here and let's bust this bubble real quick. I like picking on Mark. Mark Arthur is Keith, Dalton, and Tanner in the booth. You got a copy?
I got you.
What has happened?
I don't know. He says he didn't take tires. I don't believe him.
I
He either
don't
took
believe him.
he had to take right sides or he had to take something because that's he passed like 3 of us on the restart. So that'd be pretty ballsy on old tires.
So Dalton had the time
Taking
pulled
the
up,
top.
like the
Sorry, bottom.
pit road time as he gets confused on his top and bottom. He's so excited, he's flustered.
Yeah, Christian had an 18-second pit stop, so that leads me to believe that on top of taking fuel, he may have taken right side tires as well.
Yeah, because fuel would only been like 11 seconds, and
Right.
so he might have took rights.
But I mean, it's still pretty impressive though. Did you take 4 tires, Mark?
I did.
Okay.
And full fuel.
Okay, so yeah, that's what Sexton's talking about. You got a lot of weight and packed in. Well, the lights are off on the pace car, Mark. Either way, you've been looking good this race. Got to a 5-second lead. It's about to get interesting here, brother. Good luck.
Yeah, he's about 2/10 quicker, so he's got it if he don't mess up.
Just pitman it. All right.
Yeah.
All right. Good luck, Mark. We'll be here.
All right, man.
There you have Mark Arthur. He didn't sound too confident. Said Pittman has him by about 2/10. But these tires are cooled down. We're gonna have. What we're gonna go back with about
like 7 laps to go.
Well, the thing is now you have Chris Ditz here. His tires have not pulled down. He's right there also.
You got
on the inside.
Jason Raymond, 44. You got. Anybody can win this race.
Wait, is that Scotty Stevens poking his head in the top 5? Hey, he's my outside dark horse.
So let's see here.
Christian Pissman gets a great jump. He is going to be long clear of Mark Arthur. Looks like Chris Stitz is actually going to be peeking to the inside. Mark is going to run a little wide. Chris Stitz is going to get there. He's going to get a run out of turn 2. He might actually clear the 18 and hop up in the second spot. It'll be close. They're going to be side by side into turn 3. Pittman's just gone.
Yep, so this is what Pittman likes to see out of his mirror right now. Once them guys get side by side battling like that, they're not turning their fastest laps because you can't. Because you got a guy on your inside or your outside. You can't just go full throttle. So that's allowing Christian Pittman to actually check out even further. And this is the battle right here for second and third with
This Mark gets a little loose there on exit. That could open it up where Chris Stitz might clear him.
At this point, I think if one passes, I think you got Jason Raymond going to get by him too. It's going to be close. It's going to be hard for Mark to... He might clear him right here with this momentum. He pinches that 44 down.
Oh, he gets
and
loose.
Mark gets loose and not able to save the machine.
Nose it into the inside wall.
Oh, Mark, I hope you watch this back.
Significant damage on the 18.
What a scrub, Mark. I hope you watch it back.
Jason Raymond went around 2.
Yep, lost 2 drivers and significant damage to that 18 machine. That's a mistake you don't see Mark Arthur really ever make. And just car stepped out from underneath him, guys. Just stepped out from underneath him. As we're going to go into overtime now, we go back green flag racing as we see what happens here.
My fault, guy.
Scrub. Yeah, just gets loose. Just gets loose, and ultimately we saw guys get loose today and they get no damage, but the worst case scenario for Mark Arthur right there in that 18 machine gets loose and actually goes head on into the wall. You see Jason Raymond's got some damage to the right front, but he had some damage earlier, so man, oh man. This race, you could have asked me at $50 to put a bet on this race and I would have lost all my money.
I'm sure these guys still have their fast pair though, so I think they're probably going to pit in here and take care of it.
Absolutely.
Or at least Mark will still have it. I'm
absolutely.
not 100% sure on Jason Raymond.
Yeah, so we'll watch right here. Mark Arthur for sure, unless he just forgot to uncheck it earlier, he for sure has a faster pair. Like you said with Jason Raymond, I'm not 100%
there. Just
100% sure.
You're good.
Raymond's pitting with him, so he probably does.
This is lap 82. I need 81. I need to make up 81 more laps. Keep wrecking.
Hey, you got it at this pace. You should be back on the green flag lap by tomorrow.
And fast pair used by Mark Arthur. He is gone and away. It's like Jason Raymond. Yep. Both of them using fast pair. So who knows? Maybe Mark might have a little bit of extra stuff in the tank. but he's gonna not have many laps to do it. It's gonna be a green and white checker here.
I think he's still going to get to the top 3, and that's not taking anything away from Frank Barber, Scotty Stevens, or Alex Coffey. But the way we've seen that 18 machine all race, how can you bet against it? You can't. Look at the cars in front of him. Frank Barber, look at his nose, all crushed up. And that's not. I'm not throwing shade because this is a hard track. Frank Barber crushed up. Scotty Stevens, we've seen him sideways a few times, but he has looked strong as well tonight. Alex Coffey, he's looked strong as well. So, I mean, it's going to be interesting, but how do you bet against the 18 car? You just can't. It's going to come down to time.
I don't think he can get by that many cars to get up, but I think he can get by
I don't think he's aggressive enough to do it, really. Not now, if this race was for money or something like that, maybe. But Mark, he's pretty chill. And kudos to Josh for messing the settings up. We only got 2 green-white checkers tonight. Way to go, Sexton. So, but maybe that's all we need. All they got to do, all Pittman has to do is take that white flag, and the next flag, no matter what, whether it's a yellow or a checkered flag, it's going to end it.
Taking top.
Well, Christian changing up the plane, going topside this time.
You know,
Took
we might get surprised here, and Chris Stilts, league newcomer in that 12 machine. That's a good-looking 12 machine, too. That's a good-looking car. He might sneak in and take the top dog spot here as the lights go off on the pace car.
Who knows? Maybe Alex Coffey might pull a Clint Boyer in Martinsville a couple years ago when he took out Jeff and Jimmy going into turn 1 and opened the door for Scotty Stevens to come in and win.
Scotty Stevens come out and win this. Matt Gardner, what? I know you're watching at home, Matt Gardner. I know you like hearing that. Scotty Stevens, I don't know if they're best friends, but really good buddies, Matt. He follows everything Five Kings. He's a friend of Scotty's, but a fan of Five Kings, and we appreciate it. He supports us high and dry through everything. And this is Overtime, I forgot, it's brought to you by BAM Racing Videos over on YouTube. Like I said earlier, Brandon Mettler goes around to real life races, videotapes it, but right now we're sim racing. That pace car's about to take his hard left turn. We're about to have some action and fireworks as we go into the first overtime attempt here at Phoenix.
See when Christian decides to go.
This is going to be it right here.
Holding. Christian's gone. He gets a good jump. Alex Coffey.
Oh, slight contact.
His tires.
That's going to open the door for Scotty Stevens to get up there.
Big time, boy. Sorry.
Scotty Stevens is going to be fighting to the outside of the 12 machine of Chris Stilts. So your pick, Keith, might be able to sneak through and get him a top 3 finish here. Scotty Stevens in that 2 machine.
Damn right it is.
Easy on the language, but yes, you're right. Sitting P3
You might get up there and move Chris Stitz. We're coming to the white flag. Christian Pittman not really looking back.
No, so I hate to do it, but we're going to watch this battle for a second. We got
around
in the back. This could, if the yellow flag was to come out, this is going to freeze this field. You got Christian Pittman, Chris Stilts, Christian Pittman, Chris Stilts, and Scotty Stevens currently holding down the top 3 spots. Mark Arthur, you were right. He was not able to get by many cars at all. He's going to bring it home P5 if all else don't fail. And there you have it, folks.
Turn 4. Christian Pittman's going to be your race winner here at Phoenix.
Brings it home. Christian Pittman just won this race. He ran up front the whole time, said he didn't take his tires. I'm going to have to call the bluff on that. I think maybe he took right sides and just didn't know it. But man, oh man, what a race. That got boring there about halfway through. I can't lie.
Miracle Man.
But, yeah, like Mark Arthur just said, Miracle Man just came through and provided us with a great finish. Boy, oh boy.
Yeah,
absolutely. Getting ready to burn it down. Burn it down, young fella.
See him burn those old quotation mark tires off that race car.
He's going to burn the rims down. There ain't no tires left.
Chris Stitz, if you join Discord, I'll pull you in for an interview.
Sounds good.
Come on, Christian. Give us something for the broadcast, brother. Burn it down. With them quote-unquote old tires. Liar.
Almost hits the wall there.
Almost got the wall a little bit. But I promise you, this young fella's about like you, Dalton. He joined Five Kings and that put something in him. It's like he got NOS started in his car. Because there for a while, it's all this kid did right here was win. I love seeing it. I love seeing it. I tell the guys all the time, and this is honest to God, I enjoy seeing a teammate win as much as I like solo wins. And that's why I've said it all along. A team win is greater than any solo win for anybody on the team. And man, we have some strong drivers at the top of this team. You, Christian Pittman, Mark Arthur, Joshua Sexton. I mean, everybody. I could go through the name of everybody. Scotty Stevens bringing home P3. Just congrats to Christian Pittman there, man. Brought home P1. You got Chris Stitz going P2. Scotty Stevens, Jason Raymond, Mark Arthur. That's running out your top 5. Frank Barbary, Alex Coffey, Chad Adams, Trey Hoovler, Landon Devine, Joshua Sexton. That's your P10, P11 finishers. But without any further ado, let's get Mr. Scotty Stevens up in the booth. That's our third place finisher, Mr. Hang 'em Out. Scotty Stevens, this is Tanner Marr, Dalton Kilroy, and Keith Mack in the booth. You got a copy?
Gotcha.
Yo, so talk about a tale of two races for you. Matt Gardner, I know he is he's probably wearing a lampshade on his head right now, getting tore up for you there, bringing home P3. Up and down roller coaster race, but you brought it home P3. Floodgates open for you there at the end. Talk me through it.
First, I want to know what Keith owes me.
I was gonna say is I told you guys so. I said he was gonna be top 3, and listens to me.
I felt fast all race, man. I just kept getting in trouble, losing it off the turn myself, getting hit a couple times. I went in and took tires. I thought I was going to drive it up there to the front, but I forget who it was. Got into the side of me, about spun me out there. So had to work back from 7 seconds back. Thankfully, a caution flew.
So you just made a cross-country trip from the East Coast all the way out to California. Is there something in the water out there that made you faster? What's going on here?
It's pure talent.
Pure talent, baby. That's what I like to hear. Scotty Stevens, right home P3. Let's see if you can do this. You got any sponsors or salads you want to throw out there?
Yeah. Michael Falk, MF Racing Designs.
Yes, sir.
McConey Setup Shop.
Yep.
Energy Drinks.
Yep.
And
keep them coming. 2 more. You got them.
There's
baby.
another one.
There's 2 more. You got them.
Let me look up my sponsor list here.
Oh, that's cheating, Scotty. Come on. Make the sponsors happy.
You're a butt kicker, man.
Well,
I'm telling you.
Frank's button box already said butt kicker.
All right.
And Savage Edge Apparel. There we go.
And yep, there you go. Good job.
And Bam Racing Videos. Savage Edge just came on board not too long ago. So
Hit the
I don't get these
pause
interviews very much.
Hey, but that's the beauty of it, brother. I'm so happy you brought home P3. You can go back and watch it. I'm cheering for you up here every time, Scotty. You're one of my favorite people in the world. So congratulations on finishing P3. Glad to see it. Would have loved to see you win this thing. I would have went crazy for you. But nonetheless, P3, congratulations, brother.
Yeah, maybe tomorrow night in the tour mods, I'll be on track.
Maybe so, brother. Good luck to you, and I'll holler at you after we close shop here, buddy. Thank you. All right, then you got league newcomer Chris. I'm not even gonna try to pronounce your name now that you're in here. Pronounce your last name for me one time, real quick.
Stitz.
Stitz. So not too bad. Okay. So
I called it.
I only butchered it like at least 39 times, but there was a few times I called it right. So if you go back and watch
You're
this,
good. You're good.
I think we can count the amount of times Tanner said your last name right on one hand.
right?
Maybe.
Right. So if you go back and watch the replay, I apologize. I'm a dumb redneck
No,
from
you're
Kentucky.
good.
You know, just having fun out here.
Hey, we love it though.
Right.
It's all right. I get my last name pronounced wrong all the freaking time. You wouldn't believe it.
All right, dog. What was you talking about a while ago? Wait 1 second. You sent me a message saying start and pause button. What are you saying here?
Yeah, the bigger button, like when you hit play for the replay,
Yeah.
go left 4 buttons.
Oh, okay. Got you. Thank you. You the man. That's how you make
And
it
then
go
you can
slow.
click it a couple times and it makes it go a little bit slower.
All right. Sorry for that, folks. So we're not very professional over here. Chris, buddy, league newcomer, your first race with us tonight. I knew not many people was going to come and show up and stick around because, well, the setup was pretty awful tonight. It was pretty loose. So don't take that as a representation from the league because this was not the best showing because there wasn't a lot of cars out there. But nonetheless, P2, your first race with us, and you stayed up front for a majority of the race. Talk me through it.
I'll tell you, I put a lot of laps down in practice, and I could just I could feel the car and where it needed to be and the line I needed to run. But as the runs went on, you were able to gas it off full throttle more earlier than you were in the beginning. But it was all about just finding that sweet spot with the throttle and just saving your right rear. If you save that right rear, you could pull on the long run.
I mean, you did it masterfully. I mean, there was times in the short run I can visualize that now that that's what you were doing, because you would kind of fall back into third or fourth place's clutches, and then as the long run went, you would start to pull. So I can uh, I can visually see that now. So that's a good point there. Keith and Dalton, you got anything for him?
No, you know that restart where Pittman overtook pretty much everybody and took the lead. What were you thinking of watching him, go by Mark Arthur, even chasing for a good 40 or 60 laps?
So I'm just sitting there in second. I get the restart. I'm pulling low. I'm thinking, oh, I'm going to pull a move on the 18 or whatever. And I just see Pittman come out of nowhere and blow us by. And I was like, what? What in the hell just happened?
Right.
I
Well,
was generally shocked, but I mean, I could see it because I was running down Mark for a little bit there and I was burning up my stuff a little bit. So it was
Well,
something to be expected.
what Christian didn't tell you was that those like the original tires he started the race on.
Really? Wait, what?
Yes, he did not take tires. He even posted a quick little picture in our little team chat. Shows after the checker
Boy.
flag there, he still had his tires in the pits.
That is some insane tire management. Yeah, if I've ever seen it. Holy crap.
Yeah, very,
Wow.
very,
That's
very insane.
impressive.
So I actually didn't. It was so impressive I didn't believe him. I just I thought, I was like, well, it had to be a mistake. Maybe he took right sides or something, you know.
Yeah,
But
wow. Oh
I
my
mean,
god.
nonetheless, he did it. But for right now, I mean, P2, brother. That's a good showing. First race of the season next week at Nashville Super Speedway. I'm not even sure if you knew that. We haven't released it yet, but now you know. Going to Nashville Super Speedway next week, Chris. Before I cut you loose, you got any sponsors or shout outs you want to throw out there before we see you on track
Um,
next week?
I really look forward to racing with y'all, for sure. And I'd actually like to thank my buddy Jason Raymond for getting me in here. He's a really good driver, and I knew if he was running here, there was something right to be said. So I'd also like to thank Frostfire Insulation, Powerade, Airheads, and Chevrolet Performance.
Those are pretty big sponsors you have there, Chris.
Yeah, I just like a quick shout out to Slide Job Designs for painting the car for me. Did a really good job on it.
Awesome, right on. So check them out on Facebook, or Facebook, correct?
I believe so.
All right, there you go.
Instagram, Facebook.
There you have it. So it's a Chris Stitz.
Yes,
I'm
that is
s-
correct.
I'm still gonna butcher it. Jesus Christ.
No, it's all
Thankfully,
right.
thankfully, most Mondays I'm racing, so I don't even have to be up in the booth. I just do this for fun on these fun runs. So congratulations, buddy, on P2. I'm super excited and super stoked to have you race with us, and can't wait to get out here and battle with you next week, brother.
Thank you. Sounds good. Looking forward to it. Y'all have a good night.
Thank you, buddy. You too. All right, Mr. Pittman, Mr. No Tires Needed, Christian Pittman, the young gun. You got a copy?
Yeah, I got you, man.
What happened? So I told Scotty it was a tale of two races for him, but man, oh man, it really was a tale of two races for you tonight.
Yeah, I'm still kind of sitting here confused on what happened because me and Mark were just talking about it after the race, and I was running 29 O's and like horrible lap times before that caution came out, and then everybody pitted, and we talked, and I said I was gonna pit later in the race, and then we ran another like 15 laps, and I was not fast at all. And then that last caution, their second to last caution came out, and I restarted and I got past him, and then I was running my fastest laps of the race on lap 60 and 70. So I'm a little bit confused on how that happened. I was going pretty hard on the tires, so it wasn't like I was super conservative or anything. So it's kind of still mind-boggling me right now because after the race, my tires were 50 on the left front or right front and 43 on the right rear. So I don't. I'm a little confused.
Wow, so that's actually really crazy to think about, because yeah, sitting here looking at you last time, you know what your fastest lap on track was?
The last lap of the
Your
race.
very last lap of the race, brother. So That's really, really impressive. I was honestly, you heard me just a while ago. I said I thought maybe a mistake happened. I thought maybe you took right sides and didn't think you did or something. But man, oh man, that is very, very, very impressive, and I don't get it. So coming into next season, Christian, we go to Nashville Super Speedway next week. I'm team no tires this season, I guess, because it paid off here tonight.
Yeah, that actually is really kind of messing with me, especially coming here tomorrow in the tour mods.
Right.
I know we're on the legacy, but it's still the same shape. You just don't go down on the bottom, and I didn't really run the bottom at all in the race today, besides to make a couple of passes. So it really is confusing me on tomorrow night whether I should take tires at competition caution or roll the dice, because I honestly thought I was going to be riding around 8th or 9th, and then the caution come out with 10 to go, and then I schooled the field. And Alex, I think his last name's Coffee. He took new tires with 10 to go, and he came decently through the field, but he didn't get near me and Chris and Scotty. So I don't really know what happened. It's awesome, but I'm
right.
kind of confused on what strategy I need to use for tomorrow then.
Right on. Well, Dalton and Keith, y'all got anything for him for letting him shout out the sponsors?
No, good run tonight, Christian. Great run. I can't wait to watch you put one in the infield going through 3 and 4 tomorrow night. It should be fun.
Haters.
You took the words right out of my mouth.
Haters everywhere, ain't they, Christian?
Yeah, I guess they can just call me Young Kyle Busch, you know?
Right. Hey, he go out there and he wins a lot. So it is what it is. Good job, Christian Pittman. We will see you on track tomorrow, representing Five Kings Motorsports Strong. You got any sponsors or shout outs you want to throw out there?
Yeah, I'd like to thank my grandparents as always, my dad and my girlfriend, and then Five Kings Motorsports, of course. You guys are my boys. Love racing with y'all. And then you got to obviously thank MF Racing Designs for that beautiful paint scheme I have. McConey Setup Shop for supplying setups for our regular season, things like that. And then, of course, Savage Edge. And then you guys, of course, for doing this broadcast, because you guys could have raced tonight and not been broadcasted. And Crooked Line, and that's everybody.
Right on, brother. Well, thank you for the shout out. Thank you for what you bring to the team, and thank you for always coming out here and putting on a show for us, Christian. We'll see you tomorrow on track, brother.
10-4.
All right, Dalton and Keith, we've kind of been here for a long time. I figured, why not? I brought Mark up here one more time. Want to speak to him one more time. Mark.
You trying to rub it in?
Well, I'm just trying to figure out the strategy here, man. So Christian posted a picture. He didn't take tires. What? So this next season coming in the super late models, we start next Monday night at Nashville Super Speedway. Do these cars just work better on old rubber?
Like, sounds like iRacing's got something screwed up. So I was looking at all the times, went in and looked at them, and so he was running like, was it 29 O's? I think it was. And like in the right before he pit, he was running like 29 O's, something like that.
Right.
Went in and pit, didn't take any tires, came out running 28 4s.
Didn't touch another 29 again.
Yeah, so it's like, it's something with the pit. It looks like if you go in and pit, because I did the same thing. So I was running like 29 2s, something like that, and then spun on the outside. So I went in and got the quick repair. That's all I did. Quick repair, no fuel, no tires, nothing. And came out running like 7/10 quicker.
Wow.
So I was at 28 5s or 28 4s or something like that. Didn't touch nothing. So it's like really weird. I mean, that's something that iRacing's got going on, I guess, because that should not happen, just to cycle the tires like that. But it doesn't look like if you stayed out that it was effective. It just looks like if you win the pits and didn't get tires, I mean, it was almost like it cycles your tires, cooled them off, whatever.
Right.
So I think they got something going on there. I don't know if anybody else has complained about it in the forums or what's going on, but that literally should not happen. I mean, he passed both of us. He passed first and second place.
Right.
Like we were on old tires.
Exactly.
And
that's what,
because I was like, all right, them old tires, them new tires will wear off eventually, is what I told him. And he was like, dude, I swear I did not take tires.
I didn't, honest to God, I love Christian. And I thought he was just trolling us when he said he didn't pit until he posted the picture. Because it was so weird. So initially, Mark, I thought, well, he'll be fast for about 3 laps if he is on old tires. And then he'll feel the old tires again. But man, it never came. So I think you're on to something.
Yes. Well, I think I'm I might not be on to something, but iRacing definitely's got some work to do. They need to fix that because that.
I think you're on an issue. I think I think there's an issue here. I really do, and that's not taking anything from Christian Pittman. It's just if you compare his lap times from the time that he ran before pitting versus when he did pit, it just don't all add up right there. But and
I
Mark
mean, he
Arthur,
told me before. He said I had nothing for you. He said I was
X-ray told us in the
2,
right.
3 tenths slower, nothing for you, and I had 50 lap older tires. Well, I had 50 lap newer tires, 40 some lap newer tires. Ain't no way in the world he should have been able to pass any of us like that. He should have been the slowest car on track, literally, because everybody else pit.
Right.
And it's just everybody else got their tires, and that's. I mean, he was. I mean, if you
He
look at
checked
his
out
last
then.
lap when he got loose, he was all over the place. He was
Right.
catching the cars left, right, left, right, left, right. I mean, that was probably a 2 if he would have kept the car under him, and he hits a 3. That's nuts.
Yeah.
I've never seen anything like that in iRacing. I've been here over 9 years.
I told y'all he's old, man.
Nuts.
He's aging himself right now. Without me even doing it.
Mhm.
All right, guys, we've been here for a long time. We thank y'all for sticking with us over here at Five Kings Motorsports. Mark, I'm gonna move you down real quick because you got some background
All
noise.
right,
I'll
man.
talk to you in
Yeah,
just
that's
a
my
minute.
daughter.
But guys, we appreciate y'all coming out, supporting us at Five Kings Motorsports, supporting Crooked Line Racing, supporting Blazing Pedals when we race over there on Sundays. I've had Dalton up in the booth. He could have elected to race tonight. He volunteered to come up here in the booth with me. We got Keith up in the booth with us. Dalton, Keith, before we close shop here, any final thoughts on the race?
I've really got nothing more than what all was said. I mean, it was just really just a great race all around. I mean, other than a couple guys getting loose out of the corner, which
Right.
we knew was going to happen before the green flag just by looking at
So
practice.
let me cut you off and I'll ask you this. So I went into this with the mindset, Mark did too. We both went into this mindset, this is going to be a messy race. And now, peek behind the curtain, normally when we say, man, it's going to be a messy race, it turns out to be a fairly decent race because everybody's so much more cautious. Tonight wasn't as messy as I thought it could be. Now, granted, the car count wasn't all that great, but still, nonetheless, I don't know how many cautions we had, but it wasn't as messy as what I thought it was. So you were kind of right in that regard earlier.
Yeah, and definitely that's kudos to all the guys out there. Which I mean, again, obviously, I know some guys were getting loose, and it wasn't the perfect race. And I mean, we even saw some of the top runners, Mark, Christian, other guys get way out of shape just because of the way the setup was running.
Right.
And that just goes to show you that even the best guys out there were struggling to be able to get the power down. And just the fact that they were able to have that one really long green flag run and then get a couple really good short runs and not really have not really have any massive pile up except for I think maybe one caution.
Right.
I'd say that's a successful race for the night.
Keith, I know you got in here a little bit late. Sorry, I didn't see your message pull you up in the broadcast booth. What's your final thoughts?
Thank you for having me. It was fun to watch you guys, and I look forward to racing with you guys tomorrow night.
Well, right on. That's Keith Mack, number 55 in the Tour Modified Series, and Dalton Kilrow, number 41. If you're not accustomed to Dalton, if you ever need to find him, just look towards the front of the pack if he's out there racing because all he does is win here lately. And it's a pleasure having both y'all up in the booth. Want to go through the sponsors real quick, and then we're going to wrap it up, close shop. So we got BAM Racing Videos, you got McConey Setup Shop, and the ButtKicker.com. Both them sponsors were kind enough to grant us a promo code. So you get 10% off and 20% off if you use promo code 5KINGS. The not the number 5, but like FIVEKINGS. 5 Kings. Get you 10% off your entire order at McConey Setup Shop. Also, we'll get you 20% off your entire order at thebuttkicker.com. And that 20% off, that's a huge discount because you're going to save yourself about $20 on a game or two right now. So that's a really good discount. Raise Energy. If you ever want to order from online, use promo code 5KINGS. It's going to get you another 10% off. And then we got FB's Custom Button Box, Sim Racing Button Box. If you ever want to take your iRacing experience to another level and make it even more realistic, get you a button box. You're going to have an ignition switch, and then you're going to have 32 buttons on that box that you can mount to your rig, and it's essentially what real drivers have in their real cars. They reach over there, they flip a switch for ignition and the starter. That's how they start and kill their car. It's not a necessity, but it's nice to have, and I'm sure anybody that has one can attest to that. Then we got I'm trying to think. So I got McConey, the Butt Kicker, Rays, FBs, Savage as Apparel. That's Corey Sherman and Amanda Sherman, and they race with us on Sunday nights in the Blazing Pedals racing series. And a direct quote that I've heard from Corey is he wants to be the Teespring of iRacing. Well, we just placed an order of over 30 shirts, and I had them within 2 weeks sent to my house, and the quality is unbelievable. Couldn't come from nicer, setter people. I love Corey. I love Amanda. I've been on their show, Shop Talk, with them over at TNA Motorsports. Enjoyed that. So that's Savage Edge Apparel. I'm trying to think if I missed anybody. I know I have, but
Michael Falk.
oh my goodness gracious! MF Racing Designs, Michael Falk, Facebook.com, Michael Falk, MF Racing Designs. That is our most premier sponsor. He it started out as he did a paint scheme for me. He charged me for it. We talked every day, and before I knew it, he didn't just offer to sponsor me. He sponsored this whole organization, and he pumps out paint schemes for us, and they're all beautiful. That's Michael Falk over at MF Racing Designs. He did just go back to work in person, so his time is a little bit more less than what it was before, but he is still providing the same awesome paint schemes he does every single week. I mean, every single time. And I mean, that's MF Racing Designs. That's about all I can say about that. They're beautiful. They're work of art.
Notch.
Yeah, you don't
Top
even,
notch.
I don't even want to go out here and destroy them, man. Even though they get reset, it's like, man, don't scratch this up. Don't touch,
scratch the paint.
yeah, don't touch the paint. Don't scratch the paint. But other than that, I mean, Five Kings Motorsports, if you didn't know about that, you wouldn't be here. So obviously you know about that, and we thank y'all. If you haven't already, like us on Facebook. We broke 1,000 likes not too long ago, and we're slowly but surely getting closer to 1,500. And not only just speaking for myself, but speaking for the entire team, we appreciate every single like. So thank y'all for trusting us, sponsors, with your logos. And until next time, I'll be up in the booth tomorrow with Joe over at OSR Network, calling the Tour Modified Series for Crooked Line Racing. We'll be at Legacy Phoenix. But until then, it's been Tanner Marr, Dalton Kilroy, Keith Mack in the booth. Thank y'all, and we'll see ya.
Have a good night, y'all.